Hello everyone, welcome back to Beyond the Cow, and today it is time for graph number 3 in our Unit 5 series on graphs, and today we are making the world. So I have 2 graphs here and they are available in the Facebook group Beyond the Cow. So if you look in the description box just below, there is a link to the Facebook group. If you're not a member, then come and become a member, and you can find the file that contains these graphs and some details of how to make them. Today I'm going to be showing you a method of 2DC, 2 double crochet. That's US terms, double crochet. In UK terms, that would be treble crochet. I have talked a short bit about working with graphs. There is, in the playlist on our channel, there is an intro to working with graphs, so I have explained that a little bit, so I'm not going to explain too much about how graphs work today. I'm going to more so explain how to work the 2 double crochet stitch with the graph. So when you do see the files in the group, there will be the first page will give you some basic information on graphs, and then there are 2 graphs. The top graph is for doing corner to corner, because we have the number 1 here and we do diagonal rows all the way up to row 49 at the top. So this is for corner to corner, C to C, and the bottom graph is for all the other methods. So cross stitch, which I've shown you a cross stitch method on the cat graph, and I've shown you the corner to corner method on the paw print video, and they're all in the playlist as well. So the other methods that we're going to show you are the 2 double crochet and the 2 double crochet and the tapestry method and the bobble stitch method. So those others are to come. So this is the graph you need for that, the bottom one, where we've got stitch numbers 1 to 25 and row numbers 1 to 25 at the top. So these are square. Okay, so I'm going to use this bottom graph. You will want to have a copy of this because I am not going to show you how to make the whole square. I will come back at the end of the video and show you the completed square, but I'm not going to go through every single colour change with you on this, so you will need to have a copy of the graph from the group to complete it. I will get you started and then you'll need to work the rest on your own. So first of all, you need a copy of the graph. And then some other things that you will need are obviously is some yarn. So you could do some kind of abstract vibe on this world and do, you know, a purple and yellow world if you like. But I am sticking with the traditional, and I've got green and white, and then green and blue, and then I've got some white for my background. I'm doing all my graph backgrounds in white, so I'm just doing it in the traditional colours, but you could change this up and make it a bit sort of, you know, Andy Warhol like, pop artish. Okay, so I've got my yarn. The other thing is to tell you that every square on this graph counts as 2 double crochet. So you may have worked the tapestry method when we use single crochet, and every square on the graph counts as 1 single crochet. Okay, but for this, every square counts as 2 double crochet, and that kind of gives us the 2 double crochet together kind of make a sort of squarish stitch. So that's what we're going to do. So where it's 25 stitches along, you will actually have 50 stitches. Okay, you will have 50 stitches, not 25, but you'll have 25 rows. Okay, so that's the main part of how to work this. Every square is 2 double crochet. So let me zoom in. Okay, so we would start with square 1, and it would be so there would be this row and this row 2 would all be white. Okay, they would all be white double crochets. Okay, so 50 on each row. And then when we get to the next row, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm just going to write the number 10 there. 10 white, and then 5 blue, and then another 10 white. Okay, so you would do 10, well, 10 is 10 squares, so it'd actually be 20 stitches. Okay, so it might be worth me writing 20 there instead of 10. Okay, so you would do those 20 white double crochet, 10 blue, and then another 20 white, and then on the next row that's 8, so that would be 16 double crochets, and then 2, 4, 6, so 6 blocks there, so that would be 12 blue, and then 2 there, so that would be 4, and then another 1, so you would do 16 white, 12 blue, 4 green, 2 blue, and then 16 white again. Okay, so that is basically how you would work this. Okay, so we can if you have done the tapestry method before, and I will be showing you the tapestry method in the next video or the one after that, I will be showing that, but you can carry your yarn through your work. So you could do your white stitches here, and then you can carry your white yarn whilst you're working your blue. Okay, and then you can do your green and carry your blue and white at the same time, and then you can do your next blue. Okay, and then you can start to use your white again. Now don't worry too much about this because I am going to show you. Okay, but you can carry your yarn through, or on this, because we basically have 2 sides of white on this, we've got all these white this side and the white this side, apart from these 2 rows. So what is also helpful is to use bobbins. Now you might have heard me talk about bobbins if you have watched the corner to corner video. I've talked about bobbins there, and I may have talked about it briefly on the introduction to graphs video, which I hopefully have put a link in that description to the introduction to graphs video. So what I've done, let me just zoom out again. So for the white, to carry it all the way through here could be a bit of a waste of yarn. Okay, and you're going to be carrying it a lot of stitches. You're going to be carrying it sort of all these stitches just to do 2 on each side. So what I've done is I've got a peg here. You can use a piece of card. You can buy special pieces of card for bobbins. You can just cut a piece of cardboard. You can use like a toilet roll tube, kitchen roll tube, a paper towel tube, or a peg. Pegs are quite handy because you can clip them onto things like this one when I'm done, so that I know it belongs to that one. I can clip it on to that ball band there and know it belongs to that. So what I've done is wound a load of the white onto here for a second ball of white, and then I'm going to use the one from the main ball as the second. Okay, so I'll show you how to introduce those when we get to it. For the green and the blue, I'm not going to use bobbins. I'm just going to carry them through because there's not too many stitches. I'm just going to carry them through. If I was working on a square that was sort of twice this size, then I probably would use some bobbins for like the green and the blue. But just on a square this size, I'm going to carry them through, and that's absolutely fine. So I will show you how to introduce the bobbins, and I will show you how to carry your yarn as well, and I'll show you how to do the colour changes to make them kind of as smooth and clean colour changes as possible. So the only other thing that you will need is a stitch marker. Can be handy to mark the front of your work so you know which is the front and which is the back, especially because this will look very similar on the back as well. And then you might want a pencil to mark off your rows or to write in your stitch counts. And also sticky notes are quite useful as well to mark where you are if you want to block off a piece or you want to mark on it. Okay, and I say pencil rather than pen because you can sort of literally put lines through and tick off. But then if you want to do this again, you can just erase it all and rub it all out and then start again. If you've downloaded it and you've got it on a screen, a phone or a tablet, then sticky notes are your best friend. You can use a bigger sticky note than this. I've got a pad of bigger ones somewhere that would cover most of this, and you can put those on your screen and mark where you're at, because obviously you can't use pencil on a screen, so you can just pop these on your screen. Okay, and then some scissors or snips and your hook. Now for DK yarn, DK like worsted, I usually would use a 4.5mm hook, but because double crochet stitches can sometimes be quite loose and open, I've gone down to a 4mm just to keep it a bit more, to keep it a bit tighter together, okay, to make the picture. So that's that, and the other thing, maybe a cup of tea or coffee, okay, and that's it. So let's get started. Okay, and the only other thing I've done is I've written all the odd numbers starting from 1 at the bottom to 25 at the top. I've written all the odd numbers on this side because if you are right-handed, then you will be working your chain of across this way, and then row 1 will start on the right going to the left, and then row 2 will be on the left going to the right. So on this side I've got all the rows that start from this side going this way. Okay, so that's quite handy to have as well.